So you've never fought before, but apparently a lot of people want to see you fight. You've sold a ton of tickets. I thought there was a glitch. I called my whole team and I said, "Hey, I think that this boxing event that's happening, they must be giving them the people at the hotel
Yeah.
because they have it at the same place. They must be giving them our website because we're selling tables like every 10 minutes there was another table sold, and I'm talking like $1,300-$1,500 tables, one after the other after I think like 8 or 9 sold in a row." And I'm like, this has to be a glitch. It has to be messed up. The boxing is like a few days away. That makes more sense for tickets to go like right before. And it was all of your fans wanting to see you. So you have a big community of friends and family members that want to see you in action. Let's talk about how you got into martial arts. So you, as a kid, you had anger issues. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got into martial arts around when I was like 5, because I was always that angry kid, So I got kicked out of 3 preschools because I was just like.
So my son got kicked out of 4 preschools. So his story is gonna probably bring a lot of hope to me as a parent of a 10-year-old who got kicked out of 4 preschools. Always had his desk in the corner, away from the rest of the class. You had the same thing.
I had the same little chair in the back. So every time I get in trouble, like my mom would come pick me up from school, and she would just be like, "Oh, where's my kid? My kid's in the back," because like I would have my own little chair.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting
there. He's got his own chair in the counselor's office where he's with her.
Me and the principal were like besties.
Yeah.
Every time they switch one up, I would always like meet them.
Yeah. So now he's doing in-school suspension on a regular basis because he pushed one teacher and kicked another one in the ball, or kneed one in the balls.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, can't go to class with the rest of them, but he has to sit there with the principal or the counselor. So you went through
all that stuff,
similar stuff. Like he was the worst case that the school's ever seen.
Yeah.
You sound similar. So your parents made you earn being able to kind of like go to practice.
Yeah. So I wanted to train because my dad trained. I wanted to train, and so the way they did that, for me at least, because there was these things we had at my school for kindergarten, and it was like green cards, yellow cards, red cards, and like they called me like the king of the red cards because I was
red card king.
Red card king, yeah. So I would always be messing around in class, fighting people, starting all that stuff. So I get red cards all the time, and then also I'll be fighting. So I'll tell my parents I want to train, and they're like, "You can't train unless you're doing good in school, or unless like we know you can't be violent."
You control yourself and
exactly,
not hurt someone.
So they're like, "Okay, we'll make you a deal. If you get 30 green cards in a row, then I'll let you train." And I was okay, perfect, let's do it. And they were like, "But if you get a yellow, then you start over. And if you get a red, the same thing, you start over." I had to do that thing like 3 or 4 times. Like, and there was times too when I would get like 15, 20, like almost there, and have a bad day and start all the way over. So finally, like when I got able to train, like it made me like have to actually like enjoy it and like actually like love the sport because I was like, man, I had to earn this. Yeah. And the same thing, they were like, "I'll find out you ever do this in your school, and you're out of jiu-jitsu." And I was like,
and so you also were playing other sports too. So
yeah. So I've always just been like kind of just like naturally gifted with like genetics for athletes, stuff like that. My mom played a lot of sports growing up too. So I played football, soccer, baseball, all that stuff growing up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you're a well-rounded athlete. You get a job in construction later on, and then you realize like I could maybe take this athleticism somewhere.
And the anger too, the anger athleticism into the cage.
And maybe not fight people outside because you still have the anger issues.
Exactly, yeah.
And so maybe if I could make a living out of this. So you decide to quit construction and really start to focus on being a martial artist.
Yeah.
And here we are with your first fight.
Yep.
That's amazing. So tell us a little bit about how you feel with your first fight. Different people have different takes on it. Like, are you nervous? Is there excitement? Is there anxiety?
So for me, like nerves are always there, but I'm mostly just excited because, like I said, I've had these anger issues for a long time, and now it's like it gives me, or this MMA in general, like being in the cage, gives me like something that I can actually do and like take the anger out, and like for me, I get paid for it. So I mean, like instead of going to jail, instead of doing all this extra stuff like fighting on the outside, I get to do what I want to do, what I'm good at, and I get paid for it as well. Like that's like a job anyone wants.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So what do you want to say to your fans? Because you got a ton of them. I'm in shock. You may be we have Jonathan Wilson, we have Robert Cota, we have Red Velvet MMA. These are usually like a lot of hometown big ticket sellers, you know. And as a promotion, we love it. We never tell fighters they have to sell tickets, but don't be fooled. If you do, we really appreciate it. And you got a ton of people coming to see you fight. So what do you think they're going to experience when they come to the fight?
Man, it's been something that everyone's been waiting for a long time. Like, I've always got that question, like, oh, when are you going to get in the cage? When are you going to do this? When are you do that? And, like, all I can say is, like, now it's time. Like, I'm not going to talk too much just because, like, everyone already kind of has their opinions, like, what they think is going to happen in the fight. But I think I'm going to shock some people, what I'm going to do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, you guys heard it here first. This could be the beginning of a star. This could be a big-time legend, a big-time star's first interview here at Epic Fighting. I believe that'll be the case. I appreciate you coming all the way down here. We got Mom, and your family's super supportive. Your fans are super supportive. We love it. We want to see it. See you guys February 17th, Epic Fighting. Check us out at epicfighting.com for tickets and at Epic Fighting on all the social media platforms.